For more on Tillerson's message and the situation in Syria, let me turn to Scott Bates, Senior Fellow at the Pell Center for International Relations. Scott, let me begin with what Tillerson had to say about Assad, that he must go. Certainly not the first time Washington has said this. How realistic is it to envision a Syria without Assad in the near future?
Well, I think this is certainly the breakthrough that people have been looking for a long time with the defeat of Islamic State. And so the political part of this needs to happen to end the Syrian civil war. So I think this is just simply the U.S. stating its position. But what needs to happen behind the scenes is reassurance to the Alawite minority inside Syria that while Assad may go, their security and their rights will be respected in a new Syria. And the real question is how much of the Assad family is going to go and the inner circle around him. So I think seeing a Syria that's united and without Assad is possible, but it's not possible unless that 15% of the population is given some guarantees about their security and their place in their new country.
And at the end of the day, isn't it up to the Syrian people to decide who they want to be in charge of their country?
Well, sure. And if that election were held tomorrow, I seriously doubt it would be Assad. That country's been torn apart for 7 years, 400,000 dead. And at the end of the day, the Assad clan and the group that's been running the country is only 15% of the country. So we'll have to see that the only way forward is that every major group inside of Syria is going to feel secure and represented in whatever solution comes out of this. Right now, that's not the case in Syria right now, and that's the only way that this war is going to come to an end.
Let me ask you about these UN-mediated peace talks set to begin in Geneva November 28th. We've seen these talks time after time. Have they accomplished anything? What do you believe the goal will be in this round of negotiations?
It's interesting because in the past there have been attempts to try to get a universal solution to everything, and then it was just, let's just try to get small temporary ceasefires. I think all parties have to be very aggressive in a move to a ceasefire and a move to peace, because the game has changed with the defeat of Islamic State now. But at the end of the day, you've got to reconcile the interests of the major powers, unfortunately, all around Syria. This has gone far beyond just being an issue about Syria, with millions of refugees into Europe. That's destabilized Europe. The Europeans want an end to this. Russia wants its interests represented, that's for sure. And Saudi Arabia and Iran have been using this as a proxy fight. So it's bred instability and great human tragedy. And this is going to be the moment in time when we might just see a breakthrough. And if not now, then it's going to drag out for years to come.
Very quickly, we keep talking about a political settlement. We keep talking about Assad not having a future in his country, in his government. What about the humanitarian situation? Quickly, Scott, will that be addressed in this conference?
Well, that's one point where I think all the players can agree, and everybody has to pony up resources for this greatest of human tragedies in the post-World War II era. So let's hope that that is one concrete thing that can come out of the first round of these talks.
Scott Bates, thank you, sir.